Hey guys, Dave Norona just back from another sick mountain bike ride, and I wanted to talk to you about Cush cores because I just got the new e-bike Cush cores. So I'm going to give you a little bit of background on my story. I rode for 25 years, raced for 18, and then I kind of got out of it and did some moto and trials, and e-bikes brought me back into the bike industry. And to be honest, when I got back into it, I was like, hey man, I still want to fudge around. I'm going to run tubes and make it simple. I got like 5 flats in a month, and I was like, I'm over this. So I went kind of tubeless, and my buddy was like, hey, if you're going to go tubeless, you might as well put in a Cush core. And again, I was like, what's a Cush core? So he set me up with some Cush cores. I put them in, and needless to say, probably 35,000 kilometers now on Cush cores, never had one flat in over 4.5 years. So these definitely work. There are many other benefits to it, which I'll get into in a moment. But I don't even take stuff to fix a flat anymore. It's just amazing. Now, I have been using the Cush Core Pro because that's the original. And I haven't used any other type of Cush core since. They've since come out with, I think, 4 different types. And I will tell you that if you don't know what you're doing, and as we all don't when we first start, and you go to install this and you just kind of think you know what you're doing, it's going to be a nightmare. And it'll take you a long time. But if you get one of these tire lever bead pushers from Cush core and you follow the videos, I can change a Cush core now in 10 or 15 minutes. It doesn't take me long at all. So we'll get into the benefits of Cush core. So first of all, they they prevent flats. The other thing that they do is that they protect your rim because you can run less pressure or low pressure. And if you're especially a bigger guy, I'm a smaller guy, eventually especially on an e-bike, they just track so well, and you start going fast like a downhill bike, eventually you'll ding your rims. And these also prevent that. I run 16 psi in the rear and 19 in the front. I'm 145 pounds, 5'6". And what I love is the grip that you get going up. So it allows you to run super low pressure without wrecking your rims. And I also love the feel of them. It's kind of a dead feeling. But what you hear with a lot of riders is you hear their spokes and their rims pinging off stuff, and they rebound off rocks and roots. This has suspension to it, so it sucks all that up. And I use the saying dead, but it makes it feel more lively because you actually feel the ground. And the other thing they do is when you do run for low pressure, and you'll see with a lot of really fast riders, much faster than me, is they blow out their tubeless because they just burp the tire. And this prevents that. It also prevents rollover of the tire when you're cornering hard. So they have so many benefits. I will not ride an mountain bike without them. I see why guys get into the weight thing on a regular bike because you're pedaling it up, and they do make an XC version now. And a few years ago, one of the guys from Rocky won the BC bike race using Cush cores, the XC version. So weight is not an excuse anymore. But I've got a few things to try. So this is the trail version. So you can see if you look at the Pro here, the trail is lighter. They have more cutaways, and they also, because of that, they say it's a little bit easier to install. So I'm going to actually try this. And when I looked at it, I was like, you know what? I'll probably run a trail, or I could run an XC version on the front, but I'm definitely going to run a Pro on the back because that takes all the hits, maybe my mistakes or just stuff that when you're trudging through stuff. So this is another option in the trail version that is a little bit lighter. So they make an XC, a trail, an EMTB, and the Pro. I believe those are the levels that you want. But today I got this set, as all the valves come out, and this is the EMTB. So if we compare this to the trail, you can see it's a little bit thicker. So again, knowing that an EMTB is heavier, you're generally riding faster because it just tracks so nice and the suspension is so active, and you just push through stuff. Much like a downhill bike, when you go to the downhill park, you ride it faster than your XC or Enduro. I know like guys they say they can ride at the park as well as on their Enduro bike, but reality is in downhill, they use downhill bikes for a reason because they're faster. So I absolutely, I'm going to try these. And again, I think what I might do is use EMTB in the rear because it looks like it's as beefy as the Pro, and then use the trail in the front. So I'll keep you posted. I don't want to lose anything that the pros have given me, But it's important, I think, that we try these because then we can, I can give you my feedback and then you can make a decision when you go to buy them what you want. XC or a trail, I would on an EMTB only put them on the front, and I'd use like an an XC and a trail on the front, and then the EMTB or the Pro on the rear. You can buy them individually or as a package set, and you also get the valves that come as well with them, and you need to run these because when they have a hole on the side there, so that when you're adding and taking out air that it comes out. If you use regular valves, they'll get plugged up and you won't do it as effectively. The other thing I will talk about when I use Cush cores that's really important, I don't have here right now, is I use a digital gauge. I did a lot of trials riding, and in 1,000 vertical climb, your pressure in your tire can change 1 to 2 psi. So I would really notice it when I'd be climbing trials, because you run like 2.5. I would run 2.5 psi, and I'd start climbing, and my grip would go down, and I'd be like, oh man, is it me? I'm not riding as well. And then I'd check my pressure, and it would be like at 3.5, and it's like just enough that it's not hooking up with those nubs. And a trials, as you know, doesn't spin like a dirt bike. It basically is like a climbing shoe. And really, when you're climbing up technical stuff, that's what you want. You want the tire to wrap around those roots and rocks so that you're propelling that power forward, not slipping out on it. And so same thing, pressure really matters. So if you're new to mountain biking, one of the best things you can get is a digital gauge, and check your tire pressure every ride so that it's the same. You can go up here, you can change it obviously, but you can actually see what the difference is. And if you use the same gauge, then you're always getting the same readout. So a few little things to try that make mountain biking a little bit fun. We don't want you to get too nerdy out, but there's a lot of things you can try that make actually the experience a lot better and can actually really improve your riding. So that's a little bit. Make sure if you're riding, especially in EMTB, that you get some Cush core inserts and put them in those tires. We'll see you out there.